Hello, you join me today at one of my favourite places, West Aberthaw. I absolutely love this place, and this is one of the reasons why. I think that bait was in the water about 3.5 minutes, and straight away we got a nice little puff, beautiful little fish. Let's get it back in the water. So there we go, first cast, and we're into a fish. Aberthaw Power Station in the background, one of South Wales's famous landmarks on our fishing venues. And fishing for smooth hounds, but I also come here to see if I can catch a few other species. So on my second rod, I'm just going to flap about and see if I can catch a pouting or a wrasse or a small scrap. It's been really good, the wrasse fishing the last couple of years in South Wales. Been able to get many of the odd one, but it's got to the point where you can actually target them. So all you need, little size 4, size 6, little bit of ragworm, lob it out 20 yards and see if they're about. You say they're not big fish, but it's still fish, and it's nice to see them in South Wales again. Just using a rolling lead, standard rotten bottom. If you know Aberthaw, you'll notice a rough ground mark, so you've got to be prepared for some tackle losses. So without further ado, I'm going to chuck this out and see if I can catch some little fish. West Aberthaw is through Jarlston village, lovely little village, massive car park, loads of space to park. Follow the path along the perimeter fence, East Aberthaw to the left. Fish is better on the bigger tides, West Aberthaw on the smaller tides, and you can park at the same place for East and follow the path all the way around, or you can park down by the railway bridge down at East Aberthaw itself and then walk through the path down past the lagoon and the lake. So they're both really easy to get to, bit of a walk, nice fishing, plenty of fish on this day. Come and enjoy yourself, just be prepared to lose some tackle and some leads. So there we go, first cast on the 2-hooker, a lovely, beautiful South Wales, Bristol Channel pouting. Lovely. Caught on an inch of ragworm on a size 4, 20 to 30 yards out, and that might come in handy later. We'll see. He might survive, he might come home with me. I don't think he will because he hooks down his neck. But there we go, it's a good start. So there's my usual hound rig, 3/0 circle. I'm mixing up fresh and frozen crab, standard 3-foot chameleon, 60 pound, imp onto a rotten bottom. Been a nice start, but a pouting on the one rod and a hound on the other. I don't really want a manic session, I just want to chill out and have a few fish. I've got you about 90 minutes before low, a bit rushed. I'm going to fish now under the flood, so we'll see what materialises and what turns up. It's a lovely evening, it's a bit swelly, quite a bit of weed in the water. There's obviously a few fish here. There's a couple of guys further down. Haven't seen them catch anything yet, so maybe we got lucky. Maybe that's all we'll get. Who knows? Watch your space, see if anything else turns up. So there's a second cast, another hound. I think what I'm going to do next cast is I'm going to put a bit of sand eel in there, an anchovy or something on, a bit of fish bait, and try and target a ray or see if there's something else on there. It's a nice fish that, probably approaching 10 pounds. Nice run off it, nice fight. Another good bit of action. Hooked on the dongle, streamed off, really happy. So there is fish number 3, another small one, lively. That went off almost instantly within a few minutes of it in the water. Small fish, about 6-7 pound. I am going to go for a fish bait soon. I'm not complaining, I'm catching fish, but I've had three hounds in a space of about 40 minutes, and my hands hurted already. I do not want to go home in pain. So I'm having my fix, having my fun. Aberthaw's living up this reputation of being one of the best hound marks in South Wales. I absolutely love West Aberthaw. I got so many good memories here. I cannot tell you how many good sessions I've had at this place. It is extremely rough ground. If you're not familiar with rough ground fishing, I wouldn't advise just turning up. I mean, you got that famous caisson out there in the middle of the sea. The power station has been decommissioned, so there is rumours of it being flattened. There's rumours of it turning into a recycling plant, a battery plant, but either way it doesn't affect the fishing. The outlets on the beach, you've got some outlets there and you've got inlets on the other side further west. These haven't worked in years, and years ago this was a fantastic place for spinning for bass. People coming down here and the warm water pumping out would be spectacular for people spinning for bass. It used to be really, really good. You still get them now, they're still here, but obviously without warm water they were attracted to it. There was food chains and shrimp and crab and all sorts. But at the moment I don't want a hectic session, just want a couple of hours. Oh, that looked like a bite then. That definitely looked like a bite. I'm going to go investigate. Little common. That one was hooked in the peck. It was kiting all the way round to my left hand side. I had to follow it up the beach. One fighting hard, but that was the reason why. One hooked in the mouth. It was hooked in the peck. I was lucky to land it. But welcome. Nice to hear the ratchet go in. Sun's come out, and it's beautiful. Well, it's fishing well. I'm going to go over to a fish bait soon. Not that I'm bored of hounds, but it'd be nice to see something different. So there's a bit of sand eel and an anchovy. I've upped it to a 4 £100 straight through, both sides, 7 ounce. And let's see if we can catch something other than a hound. I have just put a fish bait out because I need a break. This is fish number 5. I just checked the clock. I've been here an hour and 20 minutes and they're all running off pretty quickly. Again, another little common, similar to the last one. All hooked on a dongle, one hooked in the fin, 4 in the mouth. Not a big fish, good sport. And Aberthaw once again is proving its worth. But I definitely need a break. So I put out my fish bait. I haven't seen the guys up to the left catch anything. I can't say I've been keeping an eye on them, I've been too busy. I've had a few more rattles on my 3-hooker, but nothing come back to it. So let's keep plodding away, see if we can catch something other than a smoothie. The fish have been hitting the bait really quickly, so all I'm doing is just topping up my fresh bait with a bit of frozen, or vice versa. The bait I've been reeling in, I've been giving it a good squeeze, checking its bit of scent, cutting off some of the dead flesh, the washed out flesh, and then topping up with a bit of other crab on top of it, just to make my crab go a long way. I didn't bring a lot of crab. I brought half a dozen fresh ones, and they are little, they are small crab, okay, and then I brought 4 frozen crab, and so far I've had 5 fish and I've still got a couple of crab left, so it shows by mixing up my bait and making it go further, I'm going to catch a few more fish. There's great alternatives to crab as well. Ragworm I find excellent for hounds, squid obviously, prawn can be really, really superior. I don't think when there's a lot of fish in the water that what you're using makes much of a difference. They're just competing for whatever's there. Last week there was a match down this area. Daniel Crump had 20 odd hounds. He absolutely smashed it out of the park. If you know Crumpy, he knows how to catch a fish in the toughest of conditions, and he absolutely battered everybody last week. No disrespect to anybody fishing, but as you know, Daniel Crump is a really good angler, and he did really well last week, as he often does. So there we go. crab, fresh, frozen, stretch it out, make your bait go a long way. They're not fussy if there's a lot of fish like there are today. I haven't seen the boys to my right moving at all, to be honest, but can't say I've been keeping a great eye on them. And then they may be doing absolutely nothing wrong. There may just be no pack of fish in front of them. And tomorrow where I am could be shit, and up there could be shit hot. So, you know, just because you're not catching and when you're seeing people catching doesn't mean you're doing anything wrong. You may be unlucky and there's no fish in the area where you are. So regardless what you're doing, if you see people catching, ask questions, go and speak to them. Find out what the difference is, if there is a difference. You know, I am casting very well today, I am hitting a good distance. It's taken me a long time to reel the fish in. My hands and wrists are absolutely killing. So, bit of crab, bang it as far as you can, ask some questions and speak up. I know I would. There we go, Mr. Dogfish on that fish bait, on that 4-0 dongle. I'm going to get him back. I've put some more sand eel out there, and I've gone off the 3 hooks on the one, and I've put a pulley on the other one as well. So we can see what materialises on the flood. I'm going to have maybe 2 casts and then get out of here. I just missed another rattle on my 3 hooker. Well, I didn't miss it, he was on there, but I got that little bastard stuck. I was just checking my rigs over and they are battered, so it's really important to check the condition of your rigs because you don't want to lose a good fish. I've had it happen countless times hound fishing. Check them over, check your hook length, check your loops, check your knots, check your bodies, check it all. It happens all the time. My rigs get battered on the rocks, and then I snap a rig casting, end up smashing my rod on the floor. It's a right pisser. But I've checked my rigs, and I've just put a new rig on, and I haven't reeled in that fish bait yet, but I'm going to bang out some more sand eel. The tide's just turned, it's screaming through, and hopefully we can pick up something other than a hound. So there's a nice couple of sand eel there, a couple of reflow sand eel from last week. I'm going to bang them out there and see what happens. The tide's turned, it's pulling really hard. It's really important to set your drag and your ratchets when you're fishing for hounds. And the first thing I do when I go fishing generally is stick some rocks on my stand and weigh it down. So those tips are nice and bent over in that tide. Drags are set. I'm going to get in that sand eel in a second, see if there's anything on there, and then I'm going to put my pouting out. Not very far, about 80 yards. I find sometimes the big eels and the bass are only about 80 yards out, just off the edge. No, they're not out in that big rip, they're just off it. So we give it a few minutes, get that sand eel in, and then put the pouting out. Right, I think it's time to put the pouting out. Now, a lot of big eels here, big eels, big bass. Let's see if our little friend from earlier can do the business. Wire rig, pair of 6-0s, get him on there, lob him out and see if we can catch something else that pulls back. Remember the first time I fished Aberthaw, as soon as I passed my driving test, me and a friend come down here, we didn't have any hounds, we had loads of pouting and straps, and then we had a nice big 22-pound eel. And since then I've had quite a few 20+ eels. I lost one a few years ago that was 30 odd, big fish. So they're here, we've got deep water, and we can see if we can catch one on my pouting. Lots of cotton. Make sure it stays on the hooks, stays where you put it on the hooks when you cast it. And there it is. Pull that out. Bang my 6-0 in the top. Like so. I think we'll cut that off. There we go. That's better. Pair of 6-0s, wire rig, 7 ounces. Let's see if we can catch a bass or an eel. How beautiful is that? Sun's going down, fish have stopped feeding, but it's not a problem. I'd much rather be here than at home on a sofa watching TV. Beautiful. Really lucky to be alive. So that's my lot. It's been a fitting end to a week. I've had a nice couple of hours. I've been here 2 3/4 hours. I had 7 hounds, a dog and a pout on a drop, and then nothing on the flood. I lost my last 2 ends. They're the only rigs I've lost all session. It's been a nice end. We had a week down West Wales this week, away from all distractions, but it's back to reality now. Back to the rods, making everybody happy, getting the work done, and posting everything out that I picked up earlier. I thank you very much for your support. Thank you everyone for all your engagement and involvement in what I do. It is appreciated. I've got a match on Sunday. Not holding up too much hope. My match results haven't been spectacular the last couple of months. Pleasure fishing is easy. You go when you want, you catch what you want, and it's all on your terms. Match fishing is a completely different ball of game. But I'm going to go give it a go over Cardiff foreshore and see how we get on. Have a good weekend if you're out, and if you need anything, give me a message. Tight lines.